I'm all professional in my raggedy ass droopy t-shirt and blanket.
I
I
love that.
love it.
That's like the first thing on our podcast is you talking about your raggedy ass t-shirt.
Yeah.
Hey there, everybody! Welcome to the Side Quest, the pre-Thanksgiving American version of the Side Quest. I am the one, the only Dolly Domofsky. Joining me is Twitch affiliate Erin Scratty Bones Kelly.
Hey. Hi, what's up? Hey, guess what I did this week?
Hey, what'd you do this week?
I bought bacon for the first time ever, and I don't know how to cook bacon, so it's just sitting in my fridge.
Wait, you bought bacon for the first time ever, but you don't know how to cook bacon.
Yeah, like I've had bacon. Like I grew up having bacon, but like since I've been living on my own ever, I've
Uh
never
huh.
bought bacon. It's just like it's just never been a thing I bought because usually I'm not awake in the morning, so it's like I don't
Sure.
think about breakfast food. And I was just at the store yesterday, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's bacon. Oh, I guess I'll buy that." And I got home and I was just like, "Well, why the fuck did I buy this?" I assume you just throw it in a pan for a bit, but
You kind of can. Basically, you throw it. Let's see, bacon talk this week. You actually you don't even need fucking anything. You don't need to oil or grease up anything. You can just throw it in a pan and let it kind of cook in there, and once it starts sizzling, it starts to drain those juices. I mean, that's really it. You'll kind of know when it's done because it starts to shrivel up as
it starts to
bacon
look like
does.
bacon.
Starts to look like bacon, and then it's pretty much it. You don't want
So
to
I get
overcook it. I'll
yeah.
give you that hint. You don't want to overcook it because it'll uh, like shrink and become really dry. You still want some of the juices in there, but
Crispy bacon.
it's crispy bacon.
So do you like I know when you cook things that are like heavy and fat like that, you're supposed to like not pour the fat down the
Yep.
drain or whatever. You're supposed to like, container it and throw it out or whatever,
Hmm.
which is fine. Like that's easy enough. But I guess my question is, do you then instead of doing that, do you just break a couple of eggs into that pan and like cook them in the fat and
I've done that quite often. I've thrown eggs in there afterwards. I've thrown a bunch of stuff in there. Actually, I will say it is kind of worth it to do that because yeah, you're saving you're saving your pipes from being clogged, but also at the same time you're still got a little bit of that bacon juice still in there. And
yeah.
bacon juice is just so bacon juice is good. Bacon
Have I
juice.
ever told you my recipe for eggs?
No, this is just bacon
Here,
juice.
no, I've never done the bacon thing before, so I'm curious
Okay.
to see how it turns out. Now, here's my recipe for eggs: eggs in the pan,
Okay. Hmm.
cook scrambled eggs, just
Okay.
standard. And then when they're done, absolutely destroy them with cayenne extract.
Oh shit! You like them hot? You like them
Oh yeah,
spicy? Yeah, yeah, that's
spicy
good.
scrambies.
Spicy. That's good. I like. I haven't done that with cayenne, but I'm gonna give that a shot because that does sound kind of yummy to me.
I
Um,
wanna I wanna get the next one, like the next step up in terms of hot sauce. I want to get like some of those crazy ones and see how they work with
yeah, dude.
scrambled eggs.
I've done ghost pepper sauce before. Actually, I haven't done ghost pepper. I've done scorpion pepper, which for a while was hotter than ghost pepper. Because they have like the world rankings of peppers and stuff. I mean, things like cayenne pepper are relatively mild compared to like actual peppers, which are like dangerous to eat. But they're you only need a dab. I remember trying one of those, and it gets to you. I will say this: I've grown ghost peppers and scorpion peppers in the backyard, and they will fuck up the rest of your peppers. If you had
Oh
sweet
yeah,
peppers, you ain't got sweet peppers anymore. They all have a little bit of a. In fact,
you
it's
got
actually
hot
kind of
peppers.
nice to do that. A little more kick. But yeah, that's good. I like your recipe. My egg recipe is sorry, as I'm drooling. I'm drinking right now. Um,
Oh, that's a good idea.
Drinking and drooling. That's a good. That's what we should call our podcast. Drinking and drooling. I have some Tennessee honey, Jack Daniels. No, I throw a little bit of feta in there. Scrambled egg and throw some feta in there. Mix it in. It tastes good.
Yeah,
I've always
the
fucking
first time
enjoyed
the
it.
first time I made scrambled eggs, it's food talk now. It's Thanksgiving coming up, so
Yeah,
it's food talk.
American Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday. Actually, Black Friday is universal for all of us. So at least there's
It
that.
is true.
You could just say it's Black
Um,
Friday coming up.
the first time I ever made scrambled eggs, I followed like one of those recipes like Gordon Ramsay or whatever,
Hmm.
where they make like the fluffy eggs that go on the plate with like
Oh yeah.
the shit sprinkled over them, and I hated it.
I hate it.
It turned out exactly the way it should have, and I was just like, this sucks. No, I just like throw them eggs in a pan, like on medium high heat, and just fucking stir them until they're just a mess of scrambled eggs. Quick and dirty, takes 5 minutes.
I'm gonna start this off with a No, I'm not. Never mind. That's good. I'll save that tweet for later. We should start off with like a gaming tweet every week, like a really shitty take. But I'll hold off. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But hey, Aaron,
Hey,
how's it going?
you want to just start this over? You want to get rid of all that food talk?
Just delete everything. Delete the past. No, we'll keep going. We'll This will be a shorter one because everybody that said they were going to be on it is guess what? They're not on it.
Hey, where's Tom?
Where's fucking? Do you remember Tom?
It's vaguely.
He's
I
out there
remember.
streaming. His,
I remember. I remember a
Xclouds.
Brotherhood of Steel helmet.
Oh
maybe.
shit!
Or was
Yeah,
that the Doom guy helmet?
He had both, I think.
Yeah.
He's out streaming Project xCloud on his Google phone.
He's actually not at home. He's still somewhere, right?
No, he's back. I think. I'm pretty sure he's back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom. Nice to see you again, Tom. But there's stuff we can talk about because it is that time of year where people actually have time to do shit. I am off these next couple weeks, and of course, I have not played any video games. So let's stop making a video game podcast. No, just kidding. I've been. I'll go into what I've been playing. First of all, let me ask you what you've been playing. And
I haven't played nothing.
There you go. We'll move on to what
I
I've
haven't
been
played anything. I've been playing that idle game on my phone.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I gotta get into that. I gotta get that one. I downloaded it after you told me about it. I did download Minecraft Phone Talk. I downloaded Minecraft Earth, but I haven't tried it yet.
You and apparently everybody else in America.
Really?
Yeah, like 1.6 million people as of like the launch or something crazy like that. As of the launch in North America, their numbers skyrocketed up like over 1 million.
Wow, I did not know that. I downloaded the Papa John's app as well.
How's that?
That shit.
Talk to me about that.
Let me tell you guys about Papa John's. That guy is fucking crazy, Mr. John. No, I haven't tried it yet, but yeah, a couple folks are talking about it. I actually haven't heard a ton of buzz. It's not like Call of Duty mobile buzz or Pokemon Go buzz, but I'll give it a shot this holiday weekend. I did get back into the Pokemans, and I've got to say I'm really enjoying Pokemon. I've got let me pull my buddy out right now. That was not meant to be sexual, but that's right. I've got my Magikarp in my Pokeball. This is the Pokeball from Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and I dumped the Magikarp out of the Pokemon game, the newest Pokemon game, into this guy. So as I'm walking around and got this dude in my jacket or in my pocket or whatever, I can earn you can earn some shit for the Pokemon. It's kind of cool, little items and stuff. But yeah, so I've been playing that pretty heavily, and
So I actually have a Pokemon question for you.
oh yeah, go ahead.
So this whole the Pokemon quote unquote controversy with these new games where all the
It's always
Pokemon
a
are in it, whatever.
controversy, yeah.
I thought that was fucking stupid. Like the people who were pissed off about it. Like I thought the whole idea, like, okay, so they're not all in it. Who gives a shit? Is it true that they're offering a service that lets you take your Pokemon from your old games for a subscription fee and store them on your phone, but you can't transfer them to the new game? So you're just paying them to not be able to use your Pokemon?
So here's the way it is. All right, you can take all those old Pokemon, even as far back as maybe the Game Boy Advance games too. I think also work. But you can store them into this cloud service and dump them back into the other games. So you can kind of it's constantly moving forward, I guess, so you can play like all those old Pokemon that you've caught in almost instantly in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah, your friends, your buddies.
The last 3DS game. And they announced that service, and then the next day or the next week announced this game, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and said, oh, by the way, that service won't really work for Pokemon Sword and Shield, at least not for that first month or two. I don't think you can get into it right now, even if it's on there. And when it does work, you'll only be able to bring in the Pokemon that you have that are native to the Galar region. So the ones that are in this game already the however many 400 Pokemon there are, or 300,
I think it's
whatever,
410. I
something like
think.
that. Yeah, you can only bring those in, so you can't bring in all 800 or 1,000 Pokemon, whatever there are. Uh, just those that are already in this game. So that sucks for a lot of people who wanted their, who've been kind of holding on to their favorite Pokemon, but over the last like 20 years.
I
Not
think the part that sucks the most is the fact that it's a subscription service. So if
Yes,
you
there's
did
no
this, they're just
shit.
stuck on your phone, and you
Yeah,
have to pay Nintendo a monthly fee to, I guess, not have them deleted on you.
but essentially yes. So they've got you quite literally by the Pokeballs because
Boo.
that was just horrible pun.
No, you know what? I like that one. You can
Okay,
have
you
that
let that
one.
one go through. All right, good. Because yeah, you can't act. They're literally just sitting there. And by the way, they've announced that they're sunsetting the Pokemon Live Trainer service, whatever that was on the 3DS games. Said, hey, by the way, you've got until like January or February to play all those live things, which is essentially like I think battles were on there or some type of battles, some type of trading, not like the full online experience, but some of the stuff that people really liked that sort of augmented those online modes. That's all disappearing. They're shutting that shit down. So
Yep.
it's kind of a really fucked up situation right now. If you've been, collecting Pokemon over the years, I mean, you're gonna be paying, and it's not. I don't think it's an expensive cost, but you shouldn't have
I
to
think
pay.
it's 7.99.
Yeah, is that? It might be that for like the whole year though, right? I think it's like that for like. It's not expensive. It's not like a. Yeah, go ahead and check that.
I'm gonna check.
We're figuring this shit out live. But I mean, I have full belief that those Pokemon will eventually show up. That there will be a Pokemon game in the future.
4.99 a year
For $4.99 a year, $5 a year. Okay.
for the Pokemon Bank. Yeah,
Okay. I thought no, there was another service. Was
there
that?
is. There's Pokemon Home, but it's
That's
not
the
out
one.
yet.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, whatever this is, I think I had like Pokemon Bank at one point for a year. I
Yeah.
paid $5 for nothing, but and I've lost all those Pokemon by the way. Yeah,
I wanted to find out about that because on the one hand, I think people being upset that all the Pokemon aren't in the new game
Yeah.
is kind of dumb.
yeah,
On the other hand, that's a little fucked up
it is.
that they're charging
You
money to
can't
not
do
essentially kill your
anything with them.
Pokemon.
Yeah, they're the Pokemon genocide. I wish like here's the best thing that could happen, right? That they'll release some type of game or some type of app or something that this $5.99 or this $5 a year, whatever it is, that even when you're not playing with those Pokemon in a game, that you can still do something with them on your modern device, like whether it's a phone or on the Switch or something. Maybe there's like I don't know. Maybe you could throw them into Pokemon Go or Pokemon Let's Go. I don't know something. So at least it's worth it. But yeah, they're literally holding many of those Pokemon hostage, and that's kind of the shit thing. Yeah, I agree. I don't. It's a bummer that not all those Pokemon in there, but it doesn't hurt me. Only because I usually just kind of start every Pokemon game fresh, and I don't really carry my shit over. And I don't know what percentage I fall into with that kind of thing, but the yeah, I don't know. It is kind of dumb that they're not all there natively. I wish that there was something to do with all those Pokemon. Like I said, I have full faith that
They're making me empathize with the assholes, and I don't like that.
I agree. I have full faith that there'll be a Pokemon game in the future that has fucking everything in it. But they're rebuilding a lot of the shit. And to rebuild 1,000 Pokemon isn't. Sorry, guys, it's not just dragging the 3DS data and dropping it onto the Switch, as everyone.
Although you say that, apparently somebody's modding the game.
They're doing just that, right?
Yeah, they're doing pretty much that. They're importing the models from Pokemon Go into the game, and apparently, Sword and Shield have the actual slots for all the Pokemon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're importing the models from Pokemon Go into those slots, and then I guess that means the Pokemon are in the game in the modded.
I wonder if there'll be DLC down the line that opens all that shit up. That
would be the way to do it, right?
That would be the way to do it. I mean, to be honest, I kind of think that they sort of rushed this this game out in a way. And what I mean by that is, okay, we're getting off on a tangent, but this is much more interesting than me just saying Pokemon's fun. Let's go on to the next subject. I think that this game started off as sort of the third game of like Pokemon Sun and Moon. Like they've been doing the third game on and off for a lot of these games. They didn't do, I think, Pokemon X and Y. They were rumored to be making Pokemon Z, but then that ended up turning into something a little bit more substantial, and they made Sun and Moon.
Black and White was in there somewhere, right?
Black and White was before X and Y. Yeah, Black and White. And I think there was Black and White and Black and White 2. So Pokemon Sun and Moon beget Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and the rumor was that they were going to make Pokemon Stars, which was that third game, because they showed, I think in one of the developer videos, or one of the videos that when Nintendo was kind of talking about the Switch, they said, yeah, and by the way, we're making a brand new Pokemon game for the Switch, and it showed whoever one of the presidents or whatever of the Pokemon company or Game Freak, kind of with the computer on in the background, had essentially slightly HD visuals for Pokemon Sun and Moon, or of those games. And so my theory, my conspiracy theory, is that they started making a Pokemon Stars game and realized that the Pokemon Sun, no pun intended, the sun had already kind of set on that era of Pokemon, and they needed to make something new. So at some point, they switched over and said, "Shit, let's make a new Pokemon game using kind of the stuff that we've already been putting together. Let's focus on the region and some of the features and ideas, and create a few new Pokemon in there as well, and then see what else down the line, what we can sort of start to bring in." So I think this, I don't want to say rushed, but I think timing had a lot to do with it. Nintendo needed a game out this year, and they needed to focus on Pokemon this year, and they came out with Sword and Shield, which for all accounts, if you're like me and you just play each Pokemon game as it comes out, kind of in its own little world, these are actually really good games. They're really enjoyable. They're fun.
Is there a Pokemon in Pokemon Shield that has a shield? Yes. In Pokemon Sword, you get Sirfetch'd, right? Who has essentially a sword.
Well, but it's the legendaries.
Oh.
So, but yeah, Sirfetch'd has the onion sword or whatever that fucking thing is. But
I think it's Leek.
It's the same fucking thing. Aren't they the same? I don't know. But so yeah, that's my conspiracy theory, is that this started off as a third game in this Moon and Stars, or Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, whatever. It ended up morphing into its own game, and they needed to get it out on the store shelves because Nintendo needed a big game this year. And so the last year or so they've been pushing this.
What do you think the conversations were like when they were like, we can't use colors anymore, we've used all the colors, we have to do something else, and then somebody said, let's do X and Y, and then it's like, all right, let's do those. Fuck, we started at the end of the alphabet, now what are we gonna do?
Then they said, well, shit, let's combine like the Greek alphabet with colors, so like Omega, Ruby, and Alpha, or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. Now they're just gonna fucking start doing. Let's do Pokemon, Joy-Con and Pokemon Mouse.
Pokemon Genesis and Revelations.
Pokemon Genesis and Revelations. Fuck yeah, that'd be awesome. Like
one of them you get Adam and Eve, and the other one you get the Four Horsemen.
You want to get Adam and Eve? I would. Okay, I'm in for this fucking Pokemon game, the biblical region.
Hire me, Game Freak.
Yeah, so I think the next Pokemon game will have a lot more shit, if they're not already working on doing some type of additions to this game. But I think next year we'll get the Detective Pikachu game, more than likely, right? Because they said they're working on an updated version of Detective Pikachu. That'll be next year's Pokemon game, and then we'll probably get either another Let's Go Eevee or Let's Go Pikachu or something, or I would not be surprised if in 2 years we get a highly updated Sword and Shield version that has all the Pokemon in it. So you could have like Ultra Sword and Sharp Sword and Flat Shield or something. I don't know.
Oh, excuse me. When did Eevee become one of the mascots of Pokemon?
Pokemon Go.
Was
Like
that
it
it?
really was Pokemon Go because they I think people got used to like all the like their first real crazy evolutions were with Pokemon Go, and what I mean by that is like that was the first time you had the at least the overall public realized that there's some it like so Eevee transforms evolved into like three different forms, right? Flareon and
Vaporeon and Jolteon.
exactly. And you didn't know which one you're gonna get. It really was like a loot box for her Pokemon on Pokemon Go, and the Pokemon loot box, and so that was everyone's kind of first taste of it. And people really, really dug it because I mean, you could hack your way into naming those Pokemon if you knew just kind of how to name them and get the right ones. People loved it, and Eevee became sort of the mascot of Pokemon Go because of that reason. You know, people wanted to get all the evolutions of Eevee, and it became a fan favorite. And
And they're like 12 now, right? Like there's a
there's a
bunch.
fucking ton of them, yeah. And so I think that's why it was why it became so popular. One of the mascots. But yeah, anyways, back to Pokemon. I've been on some raids, and those are kind of fun. It's just kind of a bunch of people playing, all turn-based, taking on it kind of feel like bosses initially, in a weird way, like mini bosses type of thing, where everyone's just like four people get together and take on a boss. It's kind of fun. But yeah, there's a lot of shit in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like I don't remember this much shit that was in. I think I didn't play Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I played Sun and Moon. I didn't realize there was that much shit in this game, but holy cow, there's a lot of shit in this game. I'm probably like 10, 12 hours into the game right now, and I've gone on a few quests where I had to, fuck with my rival and try to beat him to get the most amount of Pokemon.
Your rival slash best friend who
My rival
chooses the weaker Pokemon
yeah,
now.
Exactly. I had to kind of collect more Pokemon than him at one point, and I kind of forgot to do it, and he chastised me a little bit for not following his rules. But yeah, I'm digging it a lot. I'm digging it. This one seems to have. I don't remember what I said last week, but this one seems to have much more of a plot than previous Pokemon games. If that makes sense. Like there are more like story goals. In the past, it was just like, hey, go to this town and become the gym leader or beat the gym leader. Go to the next town. Here's where it's located. Go beat the gym leader there. This has slightly more of a plot. I mean, there's still kids games, but
Like, is there actually like shit happening?
yeah, they're actually like when the like the overall bad guys start to show up. Team Rocket was always just this these folks that you'd bump into and kind of have battles with every once in a while. In this game, they're definitely a little bit more involved. Even if you bump into them, they're tied to something that you have to do or accomplish before you can get into any major battles. So,
Have you
the soccer hooligans?
Yeah, the soccer hooligans. Have you gotten in on the loot cave or the loot caves yet?
What do
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I'm kind of. I haven't done anything to like actually leave loot for other people, if that's what you're asking, or doing any of that kind of shit. So not really. I've just been doing raids. I'm walking around the wild area, doing raids, making curry, going fishing. And in fact, I think I may have lost a lot of time going fishing and going on raids. I tend to get
You can eat the Pokemon now, can't you?
certain ones. I have the was it that the whipped cream Pokemon, the ice cream Pokemon?
Alcremie?
Something like that. Yeah, that's my jam right there. Literally. I like that one.
Hey, how do you feel about this? I'm just gonna throw this out here. A little piece of news. Totally relevant to this discussion.
Good.
Papa John's ex-CEO says in viral interview that he ate more than 40 pizzas in 30 days and that the quality has been destroyed, adding that, quote, the day of reckoning will come.
That's what I was talking about. I saw that video earlier today. That dude, I ate 40 pizzas in 30 days. The day of reckoning is coming. I'm thinking, is he gonna like fuck? Is he? Do we have to like brace ourselves? Is he gonna go on a pizza rampage, like tossing slices everywhere? Dude's crazy, man. Yeah, eating Pokemon. Anyways, Pokemon still good. I'm liking it. I can definitely see myself sinking a shit ton of hours in this game. Most of it will be just walking around that wild area, doing raids for no reason whatsoever. But yeah, I'm hopeful that they uh, so I think they've learned a lot from Pokemon Let's Go, and weird to say it because that game was really kind of a watered down version of Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Brown for Eevee, I guess, Tan. Uh, but they've learned a lot. They've learned in terms of like you can actually see Pokemon in the field now instead of their whole random battle shit. Like in the past, it was there's a random battle coming up. You don't know what kind of Pokemon you're gonna get. This time you can actually see them. You can kind of prepare for them. Run away from them if you want to. So that's always positive. And the visuals are, like I said last week, the visuals are pretty good. I'm real liking it.
Yeah.
I'm real liking it. Let's see anything else. I'll move on past that. Luigi's Mansion 3. Still playing that baby. That's a delight. Man, that game's so good.
I heard the game's real long.
It's a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be. I'm through. I think like there are like 20. I think there's gotta be like 20 floors or something, 15 to 20 floors, and I'm in like floor 8. It's not long. It's just there's a lot of levels. I guess maybe that's the best way to say it. It's not necessarily a long game. Although I did plug in like 4 hours yesterday, 4 or 5 hours yesterday. I binged and only got through like 3 or 4 floors. So it's not the Metroidvania of the original GameCube game. That original GameCube game, going back on it, that shit was so good. Because I just replayed it in the 3DS recently. There's definitely a Metroidvania thing where you go from every different room in the house and in the mansion, and you're kind of unlocking stuff, and you could take that to a different room and unlock something, and take that to another room once you earn different upgrades. This is basically all level based. You can kind of complete the entire level while you're there. You have all the tools that you need. You never really have to go back to any of the levels to get anything. So, if anything, I sort of miss that aspect of it, but overall, it's good. This is a good game. It's a fun game. And then the game that I really wanted to talk about, and I'll try to be as quick as possible with it because I've spent too much time talking Pokemon, is Black Future 88. Played that at PAX East. Like maybe a year and almost 2 years ago. We have a preview of it out there. It's this roguelike side-scrolling. You have 18 minutes to live type of game, and it fucking moves fast. Every time you die, you kind of get reborn, and you get upgrades and experience and that kind of shit as you play along. It's a fast game. I probably died like 7 or 8 times in my first 10 minutes of playing. Totally fine with it because, like I said, things don't get easier. They just kind of get adjusted and a little bit improved for you as you go along. But fuck, that game is so good. Holy cow, I'm really liking this game. I guess I hadn't played it in forever. The only time I played it was at PAX East. That's so long ago. But man, it's a good game to sit back. And like I said, it moves fast. It's 2D, kind of retro-ish styles.
Vaguely bullet hellish from the looks of it.
Vaguely bullet hell, and not just vaguely. I mean, there's some aspects which are like total bullet hell. The whole cyberpunk aesthetic is really nice. The Cybertruck aesthetic is really nice. Mm-hmm. But your character's kind of small on the screen. If there's any like actual gripes that I have is that the font. I was playing in handheld mode, it's great in handheld. The font is kind of tiny, and your character's a little bit difficult to kind of see, from the background. But it looks great on a bigger screen. It is a quick game. One thing I really do appreciate is that it sort of auto aims for you, because if I had to fucking stop and aim, then I'd be losing the whole Running Man aspect of this game, which is a big part of it. I mean, you're meant to blaze through levels as fast as possible. Sometimes you'll have shitty weapons that only take away like a few hits here and there. Other times you'll have weapons that take away more, but you have to do everything really quickly, and you can't make it through to the boss. There's like this overall main boss, this overall main goal, and mini bosses along the way. And you have to kind of clear the room that you're in before you can go to the next room and work your way up. There's like a little shop, not shops, but there's people you can get upgrades from here and there, and they'll drop tips for you and that kind of stuff. But you have to keep moving in this game, and that's why the whole bullet hell nature of it is really kind of cool, because you'll face off against a mini boss that has just waves and waves of bullets, and you will be fucked. You're gonna get hit. There's just no way to get away from it. But hopefully you've sort of saved your HP between from the last couple sections you were in. But it's really good. It's really fun. It's totally the kind of game where you can sort of pick it up, play a couple rounds, die, and dying becomes kind of a whole part of the gameplay, the whole background of it. So yeah, controls really very easily. Like I said, the auto aim stuff I think was perfect because I don't want to stop and try to adjust my aim to shoot something. Now I can just kind of run through the level and aim it. So yeah, Black Future 88. It's good shit. Real good shit.
It looks real fucking cool.
It is really cool. It's on Switch right now, and I think PC. I think it's coming out on some other shit later on. But yeah. It just came out, I want to say last Thursday or Friday. We got a review code in for the Switch, so that's what I'm checking out now. I got to hand it to people. By people, I mean publishers and PR. They're very willing to give out to like outlets like ours. They want to push like the Switch as an indie machine. So all these games that we're getting, they're throwing. I don't say they're not throwing indie codes at us, but they're very open to getting a code for a Switch as opposed to the way the past was. In the past, you had to like. If you want to get a PS4 game or an Xbox One game, you had to like pry. You had to like beg and plead for it. Otherwise, you end up with the Steam code, which is fine for folks who have Steam, which have PCs. For those of us who do most of our gaming on consoles, it was always kind of a more difficult option. Now with the Switch, like that tends to be the first release for a lot of these indies. Black Future 88. I think New Super Lucky's Tale, which the review will go up today, I think. A bunch of other stuff. I mean, they're really willing to get those codes out to outlets, established outlets, I should say, like ours, because the games work great. I don't have any fucking issues with some of these indie games. They've been fantastic, and I think that the Switch is the perfect home for indie games. So it's good stuff. Anyways, yeah, Black Future 88. Go forth. News. Let's talk news. Let's get into some news.
So I got a little bit of news. The 2019 Steam Autumn Sale is live.
Yeah, it's good to go.
I have exactly one bullet point attached to this, and all it says is consume. Consume.
Hey, there's one thing that I want to add to that, and I don't know if you had this in your news or not, but Wario64 tweeted this deal out earlier, and I jumped on it, and that was the hi Wario. That was the Steam controller. Was on sale for $5, and with like $7 shipping and handling was more than the controller. And Valve put the note out that said, "Yeah, actually, we're killing off that Steam controller. So
yep,
it's no longer to be supported with new updates. So here, just take this. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't."
I sort of want one of those, but not enough.
I mean, it's probably more expensive for you to get it over there, but for like fucking $12.
I mean, the shipping. It'd be $5 American. So if they're selling it in Canada at all, I haven't checked. It'd probably be that's like $8.
$8.
No, like $8 Canadian, and then shipping would probably be $30.
Yeah, exactly. So there'd be no use to get it. I'm gonna get it only because I'm curious to see if it'll work with any games that I already have.
Yeah, totally. So that's a thing, and then the actual news that goes along with that is that somebody figured out that Steam is mass banning games. They're actually doing like a cleanup of their store. I don't have the link in my little notepad file. I could find it. I'll put it in the comments maybe. But essentially, when I checked about 2 hours ago, because that was when I woke up and started putting the news together, they had removed 2,900 games and apps from their store.
Holy shit!
And it's all like low effort asset flips and shit like that.
In that case, that's about fucking time.
Yeah.
Because that's always been a big problem with storefronts like this. Steam is much more open than places like the App Store. The App Store, which arguably has even more junk than anything on the planet. I hate to say at least, because uh, at at least there's some semblance of, well, it's got to be approved before Apple will post it up there. I mean, there you get all kinds of asset flipping all the fucking time on the App Store, which sucks because the folks that are approving these games obviously don't know what's already been out there. But on Steam, you kind of thought that it was a kind of an open Wild West, but it looks like Valve's actually kind of doing their shit, doing it well to do
Well,
this
people
now.
have been asking for them to start doing this for
Yeah,
years now.
I agree.
So it's nice to see at least some of it happening. Yeah, yay Steam.
Cool. Yeah.
Um,
Yes, Steam.
One other piece of Steam news: the trailer for Half-Life Alyx passed 1 million views in the first 24 hours that it was available.
Wow. And
Yeah,
it's been downvoted 999,999 times
pretty
by
much.
people who don't want a VR game.
Gabe Newell was out there saying that he's super happy that they're going back to Half-Life, being VR has re-energized the studio. And it's just like, oh yes, does that mean you're going to do Half-Life 3 after this?
Hopefully.
Probably not.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah,
not.
probably not. Probably. I'll say this: have you been
They'll do
following
Half-Life
that?
Alyx 2 and then
There you go.
just drop it.
Have you been following the negativity about Half Life going VR?
Nah,
At all? It's been like popping up on some social media and some stuff, but people are upset that Half Life is that.
good.
Make sure it's still. I don't know what the fuck that's happening. Is it still going? Hopefully, it's still going. Yeah, it's still going. Right. Of a property. Like if I think the next logical step for me to take Mario games, say, listen, Mario games, they need to be in VR because I think to get the experience that I want, that's what the direction needs to be. Sorry, I'm gonna piss off a lot of folks that are Mario fans, that they don't have the VR, but whatever. So from that standpoint, I feel like, yeah, that's if this is what the creators of Half-Life want for Half-Life, then that's what they're going to get. That's what they're going to do. Also knowing that they're going to be missing out on a lot of money
Sure.
from people who are big Half-Life fans that can't play this in VR. And I will say this, I'm kind of one of those folks. I don't like FPS games in VR all that much anymore because they're my brain gets thrown off a bit, and I do get kind of nauseous, and I can't play for too long. Like the sessions are really short, and for all intents and purposes, it's supposed to be as long as Half-Life 2, which is like 12 to 15 hours. So, just from the pure personal technical standpoint, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it being in VR. But if this is what the folks want it to be, they're not necessarily doing it wrong for their vision. Maybe they might be doing it wrong, monetarily or whatever, business wise. But for their vision, it's like, I guess I have to kind of understand why they want to do it. But
It's like, you remember, it seems to me like people are looking at it like do you remember when Final Fantasy 11 came out?
yes,
And people were like, it's an
pissed
MMO, and I have to
off.
pay. I
Pissed
have to
off.
pay a subscription and play
Yep.
and have internet to play it, and that's not cool. I've been playing Final Fantasy games since Final Fantasy
I
One,
don't have
and
broadband. I have to fucking use. I have to pay extra to play this game now. And get
exactly,
broadband? Yeah.
it seems like people are looking at it like that.
Yes. Yeah.
But to me, with this is the series specifically where Valve uses it to push new tech, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like Half-Life, I mean, don't get me wrong, lots of people love Half-Life and people love the story, but Half-Life has always been the games that Valve uses to try some weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're coming out here saying like, oh yeah, we're doing this one in VR and we think we're going to do some cool shit with VR, it's like, well, that's what Half-Life does.
And it's not a mainline Half-Life game, right?
Right.
It's an offshoot. It's the pre-sequel version. It's the Portal, version of Half-Life. And before too many people freak out, because this was not a major controversy or anything, but it was just kind of light out there on the webs. This is totally gonna be in 2D. It's not gonna be. It'll. They say VR now, but yeah, give it like the next Xbox is gonna be out. Scarlet will come out and they'll say we've got the new Half-Life game coming to Scarlet
We
in
we
2D.
figured out how to make it work it on PS Move or whatever the VR thing
Yeah,
is.
yeah. They may not. Like I said, I don't even think it'll be VR. It'll just be a 2D game like every
Mm,
other FPS out there. It's much easier to go from VR back to 2D than it is from 2D to VR. So I think,
sure.
yeah. Anyways, yep. Half
Yeah.
Life
Um, Speaking of VR, Facebook
VR.
slash Oculus bought developer Beat Games, the makers of
Interesting.
Beat Saber.
This one's kind of interesting to me. This is their first real purchase, right? Their first gaming purchase.
I think their first, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Studio purchase, maybe. I don't know.
studio purchase. I believe that's accurate.
Yeah. There may be something else out there. I can't remember. Beat Saber that started as an Oculus game, if I remember correctly, and then it released on like Vive shortly after, and then finally came to, like PS4. I think that was kind of the order that it released. I'm not 100% sure.
I think that sounds right.
Sounds about right. It's usually how it goes. It goes PC first, and then console after.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's interesting that they're doing that because obviously they want to push VR. Speaking of VR, um, on the Oculus, and it's it's like, all right, the Valve Index, Half-Life Alex, and then the Oculus Quest has Beat Saber 2 or something. I think those are
So it
like
was
the mainline
it was
games now.
it was early access on the Vive, the Rift, the Solstice, Windows Mixed Reality, and Microsoft Windows from May 2018, and was
Okay.
fully released in May 2019. And
Uh-huh.
a PSVR version was released in November of 2018, and then it was launched on the Quest in May 2019.
Oh
So
wow,
it's
so
kind of
they're
all over
actually
the place.
yeah,
Kind
kind
of
of
all over the
yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah. It's a good purchase. That's a good game. I mean, it's gonna win VR
Sure.
game this year
I think I
at the
think Beat
Keeleys.
Saber's Beat Saber is like Beat Saber is one of the like if you want to show somebody VR, like that's the
Yep,
game to do it.
yep.
Like there's not a lot of those, and that's definitely one of them.
I
Plus,
just
good workout.
yeah, it totally is. I just hope that they do something good with it, with not just with that license, but with that studio, and really kind of push their capabilities. Like you look at what Obsidian is doing, right? They're doing a completely different style game next for Xbox after Microsoft purchased them, right? Instead of Outer Worlds, like they're a whole other type of game, and then you got I think Microsoft's doing good with all the companies they purchased because they're letting them not just make a sequel or another iteration of the game they're making, but they're actually letting them try something completely new. So I'm hopeful that that will take place with Beat Saber, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. What else? What else you got there?
The last thing I have on my list, I mentioned it on the last show, the Google Stadia 4K thing.
Mm-hmm.
So people are pissed off about it.
This is
Um,
good. This is good. Good
and
shit right
they
here.
have been pissed off about it. The Stadia lead came out and blamed the developers.
Yeah, that's great. That's totally the way they do it.
He came out and said, I don't have, I'm paraphrasing here. I don't have the full statement, copy and pasted, but he came out and essentially said, well, we give developers the freedom to choose how they want their games to run for the optimal experience, and basically just put the whole thing on them. And people are rightly pissed off because a lot of people apparently bought their Stadia under the promise that all games would be able to run in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
And some games not only are not running in 4K, but they're not even running in upscale to 4K. They're running below it. Yeah. So that's just a little update on that, and everybody's unhappy about it.
It sounds like the launch of the Wii U.
Yeah.
I think somebody posted like
Or the Ouya.
oh god, the Wii U. Yeah, maybe. The Wii U launched with a bunch of old games. People in a time when new games are coming, like it's a sort of a different time right now with the Switch. But when the Wii U launched, it did so with the looming PS4 and Xbox One showing up, and it launched with an older version. it launched with like Mass Effect 3 a month or like 2 weeks after at full price, 2 weeks after the Mass Effect trilogy pack launched for PS3 and Xbox One for like $30. So that kind of gives you the idea of what's going on there.
Like I've been clowning on Stadia essentially since it's been announced because like I look at it and like I've made the argument before. Like I look at it and from my position in reality, in terms of internet and location and bandwidth and where I am in relation to data centers, I've been looking at it and going, I see the issues here,
Yeah,
but they're just making problems for themselves now.
they're bungling this launch big time. This thing needed to bake in the oven. They needed to call this not a launch, not even a soft launch, but just continue it as a beta test. Like that's really what it should have been. This should be a Stadia beta test, until like April, May, or June or something. Like you shouldn't have launched this in this sad state because no one's playing these games. What, like, is Guilt supposed to make me really excited to hop on Stadia? I'll play any other fucking game on any of my other consoles. Cool, well, Destiny 2 that nobody else is playing.
I think I read something over the last couple of days that say the Destiny 2 numbers on Stadia are below 10,000.
Yeah, they're like 8,000.
Something like that.
And wait times are like 40 minutes to get to find people to play.
Well, I imagine do you remember the problems toward the end of Anthem where the wait times were horrendous because everybody had narrowed in on what the optimal way to grind was? Mm-hmm. So if you were trying to do anything else, you couldn't do it. That's a problem that I'm sure it would be in any of those loot shooters.
Yeah. Except
for the fact that most of them have enough people that you're not gonna run into it. Anthem saw it because Anthem had next to nobody playing it. I bet that's exactly what's going to happen in Stadia Destiny 2.
Yeah.
People are going to get to the end. They're going to start running, they're going to do the nightfalls and they're going to do the raids, and that's probably going to be it. And so like if you're coming in a month late looking for somebody to run low-end strikes, like nobody.
The big game launch for Stadia was Destiny 2. And when you have 10,000 people total playing it, less than that, those are not good numbers.
Well, they don't even have what's the Stadia exclusive?
Guilt. That's just that that 2D game is called Guilt. That's the exclusive.
Yeah, GYLT.
Yeah.
Guilt.
Or whatever that. Yeah, it's cool. Like, why didn't you launch with here's Borderlands 4 or something? I mean, Google needed to throw money at people and say, this is what we're doing. I really do think that companies like 2K threw Red Dead and NBA and said, hey, shit, fine, here. It's already on PC. Whatever. Just go ahead. Just take these two games, stop bothering us, kid. I think that's kind of like what companies are doing. They're just throwing out whatever they have sitting there that they've kind of milked already. But I don't know. It's a bad system.
It's a real bad. You know what? Okay. We recorded a couple of days ago, so we're at a point in time where there's not going to be a lot of news.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving week. Plus, again, we recorded a couple of days ago. You do any Black Friday? Do you do any Black Friday shopping ever, or do you looking for anything since that's this Friday? No.
Nope.
I have a Google list that I keep, a Google Keep list, with games that I eventually want to purchase. Like shit's on there, like Civ 6 for the Switch, and there's a couple, like Witcher 3 is going to be on sale on the Switch. What I've decided to do, and correct me if I'm dumb for doing this, is to divide up my playtime per console. So some of these like big giant RPGs that are available on multiple consoles, I'll probably get them on the Switch because at least I can do other shit while I can watch a show. I can catch up my binging on Netflix or Disney or whatever. If I have something bigger on the Switch. And so like The Witcher 3, which I already have, I have like every Witcher game on every device already. But I never get more than like 10, 12 hours into any of them because I just don't have the time to turn my head away from binging. I need like I'm kind of saving these bigger games for the Switch and then kind of the shorter 10 to 15, maybe 20-hour at most games for the PS4 and Xbox One. So with that said, that's why like I'm looking at like The Witcher 3 on the Switch, even though I already own it on 10 other consoles. Ni no Kuni, the original, is out on Switch, and I never played that game, so that's one possibility. But I mean, nothing's really jumping out at me. I did pick up. You're gonna laugh. I picked up Kingdom Hearts 3 for like $15, but I have until
you know what? That's probably worth it at $15.
yeah. I mean, I have to. I was thinking about that. I'm like, okay, shit. It's $15. I paid. Let's see. I think it was $11 for the story so far edition that had like everything on there, and then $15 for this. I'm like, yeah, it's like $20-$30 for the entire Kingdom Hearts collection. That's not a bad deal, actually.
Yeah. I would make the argument that if you're into classic, quote unquote classic games, Kingdom Hearts 1 is probably still worth $30.
It's Kingdom Hearts 1 is still a good game. I never played 2, even though I've owned that for a while. But yeah.
Have I ever told my story about Kingdom Hearts 1?
No.
So I was I had I had friends. They were a couple that were living together in the capital, and they invited me up right around the launch of Kingdom Hearts. I think it was around Christmas time, maybe. Okay. It was some point when I had a stretch of time off school. Like that's how long ago Kingdom Hearts came out. I was still in school, but they were like, "Yeah, just come up and we'll play some games." Blah blah blah. And so I was up there. I got really while I was up there. And I took some gnarly cold medicine, like shit. You know that old stuff that like you'd like trip balls on. And while I was in the middle of that, one of them came home having bought Kingdom Hearts. And I remember sitting there, and we were all taking turns playing it. I don't remember anything from that game except at one point I have this memory of fighting a dragon that was also a castle.
I don't remember a single thing from Kingdom Hearts. It was so long ago. That was like, what, 20 years ago almost?
Apparently that was a boss, and that was maybe in that game, but that's the only memory I have from...
Was that PS2?
PS2, yeah.
Yeah, it was like the earlier PS2, yeah. Shit, I don't remember. Was Kingdom Hearts 2 on PS2 as well, or is that PS3? I don't...
Kingdom Hearts 2 was on PS2, I think.
Okay, both games were on PS2.
It came out in 2005.
So yeah,
it was
PS2.
On PlayStation 2.
Okay. Wow, 14 years between 2 and 3. That is kind of a big... And 3 just wasn't... I think...
Well, 14 years between 2 and 3, except there was a game like a game a year between
Yeah, there
them.
was. It was like, yeah, exactly. Game Boy Advance. Actually, like the Game Boy Advance game. That was that card-based game. Yeah, I'm kind of eyeing that. And of course, you have like Resident Evil 2 is $15. Here's a weird thing. So I have Horizon Zero Dawn. I've played maybe 2 hours of it.
That's an okay game.
It's an okay game. It's on sale at Best Buy on Black Friday for $10. But the one that's on sale is the complete edition with all the DLC and all that shit in there.
So that sends you into the winter region or whatever.
Yeah. And so I kept thinking, I'm like, you know what? If I sell my current Horizon Zero Dawn for like $7-8 and pick this version up for $10, then I can get my DLC and I can get everything for like $2 more, and I don't feel bad. Maybe that's what I can do. And like Spider-Man's in there too. I haven't played enough of Spider-Man.
I think like Spider-Man. You really should play Spider-Man.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm off this week and next week when I get back from. I'm gonna be out of town until Saturday, but after that, it's just it's gamer orgy over here in more ways than one.
I mean, I'm just gonna point this out. Spider-Man is the game that I fought to have on our Game of the Year list last year. Yeah, and we're almost at Game of the Year time again this year.
I know, right? And I played it, but not nearly enough of it. It's another game that I played, but not nearly enough of. So those two are there. And then I've always been, because I'm such a fan of, I'm such a sad fan of Skylanders. I've always wanted and Spyro was in Skylanders. I've always wanted those original Spyro games, and I'm big into those sort of old school platformers. Crash, the Crash Bandicoot series is not very good. Sorry, but the Spyro series I kind of like because there's more of that open-ish world type of thing. And so I'm kind of interested in Spyro. It's out for the Switch as well. Everything kind of those types of games sort of feel real good on the Switch. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Not a lot this year. Nothing's really popping out. I did, like I said, I got that Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition for that same deal, that $10-15, whatever it was. So
My thing about Black Friday, the reason Black Friday's never got its hooks in me is because there's nothing here where I live that
really,
would be impact. Like there's no Walmart. There's no Walmart in my village. There's no Target in my village.
Yeah,
like
you'd have to go ways out to get shit. Yeah,
yeah, and I don't own a car, so
we used to. It was a real big thing for me, like 4, 5, 6 years ago. Like I would, my brother-in-law and I would go to Chicago and hang out with them, and we would like Wednesday night. We were always like circling newspapers, getting shit ready. Thursday morning, we're circling papers, getting stuff ready. This is when Black Friday used to actually start at like midnight on that Thursday night. And so we would go out. We never waited in line anywhere, but we'd go like at midnight, and we had like it was more for like the fun aspect of it, right? We would go from store to store, and we'd have a list of shit that we were kind of interested in, whether it was like a TV or a laptop or a snow thrower or something, I don't know. Or like literally it'd be like, hey, there's a pair of pliers that's normally $15. It's on sale for $14. Let's fucking go. It was more for like just getting out and experiencing it. The last 2-3 years, I haven't really, like my Black Friday spending has gone from like, a couple $100 to like $50.
Yeah.
It's usually like now it's basically just like, okay, well, we need some new pillows. So instead of buying new pillows in the beginning of October, let's just wait until Black Friday because we'll get like, $2 off. We'll survive.
Yeah.
So that's basically all it's been. It's lost its hooks. But yeah, that's it. That's all the news. That's all the shopping.
Yeah, that's everything. That's everything.
JJ just posted said that he had lost power, so his internet's still not even really back yet, so he can't join us. But fucking Zach, fucking Tom, fucking Sam, I tell you, all three of those dudes, they're gonna do their own podcast together.
Me and Tom and Sam were gonna do something. I thought I can't remember. It's been so long that we haven't done it. I don't even remember what it was.
It's probably a spoiler cast for something.
It was pre the Death Stranding spoiler cast idea. Yes. It was before that, and I can't remember what it was.
I think Sam still owes me a spoiler cast for like Persona 5, the original Persona 5 code that we got. How did you guys?
We'll just all have to buy the Royal and do that.
There you go. All right, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole show.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, Americans. Happy Thursday, Canadians.
Thank you. Happy Black Friday. I'm doing a Black Friday sale at my store.
Are you really?
Yeah. Somebody walked in the other day and they were looking at like bongs or whatever, and they were like, "Are you doing a Black Friday sale?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, why not?" That's how much planning went into it.
There you go. You can like draw in marker the words Black Friday and just tape it to your window.
I have a whiteboard.
Oh, even better. Black Friday sale.
I have a whiteboard that sits there. Yeah.
You should have like CBD and name it Black Friday, and then just have a sale on. Call it Black Friday.
Funnily enough, CBD is one of the few things that I don't include in my sales.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got.
Very good. All right, man. Everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see you. See you all.
See you next week.
See you next week on the SideQuest. Where can we find you, Ron?
You can find me at Twitch and Twitter at ScrattyBones.
You can find me at Dolly Demowski. Find us at SideQuesting and everywhere else. That's it. We love you guys.
Yep.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.